And then we have the balance of our time. I'm super excited that we have Eddie Villa joining us. We're so glad he's here and so thankful that he's willing to invest in us and invest in our team. But first, announcements, and then we will get there. So again, these are all repeat. I'm going to fly through them. Our team, the LDC member count is approaching 5,000, which is amazing. Y'all are doing such an amazing job. And we think of this as lives touched. And we know it's more than 5,000 because that's like per household, right? So it's way more than 5,000. But as a way of celebrating, we are going to gift a rose oil and $100 to invest in your business to the Wellness Advocate that enrolls the 5,000th member. Closing out 2021, this is kind of the game plan. This is the roadmap of where we are headed. So obviously October. So September, we talked a lot about cleansing our bodies. October is detoxing our home. Obviously the new products are available. People are loving those. And then into November, the holiday catalog drops, and it's typically a BOGO month, unless Eddie knows any secrets to tell us for sure. But the holiday catalog in and of itself is usually, there's a lot of excitement around that. And then December is typically, again, we don't have this guarantee, but it's typically a 200 PV promo for frankincense. The cleanse is currently going. So just a reminder to check in with the people that you have participating, cheer them on, help them troubleshoot if there's things that they're struggling with, but ultimately just help keep your people engaged to see the results that we know they will see if they stick with it.
People are having a blast over there. Melissa's been rocking out the workshops, and their first one was all about nutrition. And she actually had everybody score themselves on this, basically a nutrition quiz that puts you in categories on like, oh, you got a lot to work on, you're doing okay, and then you're doing a really great job. And a lot of people were shocked at how much they had to work on. So it's really fun. There's been just like a lot of big value adds in those workshops. And if your team members are in that cleanse, I encourage you to check in with them and see how it's going.
And of course, new products are available right now. The kit is still available. We haven't gotten any approaching stockouts for any of the items. So that's awesome. And that means everyone can still get them, right? So as we opened, we talked about some ideas of how to help educate, how to bring fun into the education process, but ultimately just to let our customers know what the new products are and how they solve problems that they may be experiencing. That's what we're always trying to do, right? Last announcement, post-convention tours. There's lots of locations that are near you guys, that are near our teams. So you don't want to miss these. They will be very interactive, experiential. It'll be good for wellness advocates, for sharers, for builders, for customers, even potential customers. If somebody has been sampled doTERRA, but they want a greater experience, or they want a more hands-on immersive experience, this will be great for people. And there are going to be really great deals for people to get started at these events. So
everybody that attends is going to get a free 5 ml of a mystery oil. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
And I also just learned that there was actually one location that they completely canceled because there wasn't numbers there for doTERRA to show up.
Oh, wow.
And honestly, that was kind of a shocker for me because I don't register until really last minute. So if any of the rest of you are in that camp, but you're in your mind planning on going, or you have customers or wellness advocates going, really encourage them to register to make sure doTERRA does not cancel your location.
Yes. Okay, so we flew through the announcements because we want to spend as much time as possible hearing from Eddie. Eddie, I'm just going to share. So I've heard of you and your wife, great leaders. And my first experience with you, though, in terms of strengths, was leadership, not this year, but last year, when it all went virtual and everyone was kind of like, what's going on? What's happening in the world? And I remember listening to your training at that point. So that was 18 months ago. And I was like, wow, the way that you present, the way that you speak into people and call out the gold that's in each person is really unique, and it's really a gifting of yours. So thank you for being here, and thank you for bringing your passion, your skill, your experience, and sharing what you have for us tonight. So thank you so much.
Well, it's a pleasure. I'm excited. Just to help you all understand how much I love this, I just did an hour and 45-minute training right before this with another group. So it was about 100, almost 100 people on that one. And I'm ready to go. Like, I can't wait to talk about this with you all. Just to help you understand, this is what strengths is for me. Like, when we figure out what we love to do and we do this business in a way that produces an income, but also like honors who we are, we don't get tired. We don't take breaks. We don't have, pushes and then pulls, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's always something that energizes us, and it's connected to something important, which I'll share with you all real quick in a moment here. But thank you. How do I pronounce your last name, Tyler? I'm sorry. I don't want to mess that up. What is that?
Tigges.
Tigges. Okay. Well, thank you to you and Kristen. Thank you for letting me do this.
Yeah, thanks for being on. Dawn just said you were the best part of online leadership that year.
Thank you, Dawn. Competition and woo are very high for me. So that's like the greatest thing to tell me.
I love it.
Thank you. I'm so grateful to you both for letting me do this. I just want to help people understand this. If this is your first network marketing company you've ever worked with, this is insanely rare, right? There are no network marketing companies where it's in the culture for people to invite leaders from other teams to just come in and talk. You know what I mean? Like, I just want you to know, they didn't pay me to come here. I just love this so much. I'm here to tell you all about something that's going to make a difference, but like, that's unusual. Yeah. All right. So for those of you who don't know that, please take my word for it and learn. This is a really unique business and a really unique company. So Tyler had given me some things that he would like for me to talk about, which is going to be massively valuable for everybody here. But before I kind of, figuratively pull this train out of the station, if you don't mind, I'd kind of like to know where you all are and what you all want. I've been doing this for a very long time. And what I've learned about teaching, especially even online, is engagement is everything. The more you pour into our time together here, the more you will get out of this. And I'm promising you that you'll wake up or you'll go to bed tonight thinking differently about the world after I'm done. Like there's going to be a new, like, it's almost like the Matrix. All right. Like, you're going to start seeing the green code. You know what I mean? It's like, you're going to look at the world differently, and it's going to be very uplifting and positive. But what I'm going to ask you to do is to engage with me a little bit. And it's going to be real simple. What I want you to think about is what you want and where are you right now? Okay. That's all. That's it. Easy, simple. What do you want and where are you right now? And you can keep it as simple as you want or as complicated as you want. We all have different ways of doing this, so do it your way. If you want to give a long 17-sentence answer on that one, go for it. If you want to give a quick one, go for it. It's all good. I'm not sure, and I'm also curious, is there anybody here who has not taken the strengths assessment or only has their top 5? The reason I'm asking this, because now I'm getting a measurement of where you are and what your knowledge is and about what I'm about to talk about, so that I meet you where you are, right? I don't want to, because I have 5 influencing strengths in my top 10. That means I could easily go off and do a place that no one's going to follow. It happens. So what I want to do is I want to figure out where you all are, take a measurement, and then go from there, if that's okay.
Yeah. I remember a few years ago, Eddie, our Christmas gift to each other was unlocking our full 34 strengths. And we spent Christmas break learning about our strengths and weaknesses. That was
well, and you know what? We'll just give everyone a minute to type in their answers before I start talking, because I got some great stuff here for you. I'd like to know, what did you two learn about your strengths in that great, that's a fabulous gift, by the way.
That was probably 3 or 4 years ago. we are opposites pretty much.
Literally, like my top 5 are in his bottom and like vice versa.
Yeah.
Which
Right on.
I don't know if that's common in married couples or not.
But the valuable part that we learned is that we're both awesome, even though we're opposite.
You're so cheesy. Tyler has 8 strategic thinking strengths in his top 10. So I learned that that's why my husband is like always in his head, like always thinking.
Yeah.
How many in your top 10, Tyler?
8 of the 9 are in my top 10.
Wait, 8 strategic thinking in your top 10. Okay, so all right, just so everyone understands. Okay, I don't know Tyler that well, but once I heard that, now I know everything about Tyler. Right? You all know, and for those of you who've ever worked with him for a little bit, you ask Tyler what time it is, he's going to tell you how the watch is made. Right?
Well, we might not tell you unless you ask, but
Right. Once you ask, boy, it's all over. And just so you know, I only have 3, so I can only imagine. So awesome. Okay, cool. And so Tyler is the strategic thinker of the family. What about you, Kristen?
I kind of have a little bit of a blend, mostly relational and executing, but I have 1 strategic and 1 influencing. So
Okay.
yeah.
So is it 4-4-1-1? Like 4 relationship building, or what is it? The other ones?
In my top 10, I'm not sure. I have 1 strategic, 1 influencing, and then I think I have two executing and maybe 1 relationship in my top 5.
On top 5. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So relationship executing, would you say that it's you to connect with people and then make sure things are done the right way? Is that how you
For
operate?
the most part, yeah. Mhm.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Responsibility is a high strength for you. Yes.
Yeah, it's in my top 10. Feels like a curse sometimes, but I'm learning how to
I
balance
get
it
it.
out.
I get it. All right. So good word of advice for you, Kristen, is don't let these people get their to-do list on your to-do list, right? This is huge. Okay. Y'all know Kristen can get stuff done, but don't make her do everything. All right. This is rough. All right. Okay. Cool. Well, I love it. And so since you're the connector and the doer and Tyler is the thinker, right? Then together you two become the influencer, right? Through the knowledge and the connection and the processes, people move forward by gaining those information from you. And that's what's wonderful about a marriage where the two of you are vastly different, right? Everyone's different, but some people are vastly, in case you are both vastly different. Where when there's things to do, Tyler puts all the energy in his head, right? His body moves after, right? And Kristen's the opposite, right? The body, all the energy goes in the body, and then energy goes to the head later, right? After all the work is done. And
We
she's
like to
sitting in
call it aim, ready, fire.
No,
Yeah.
Kristen's fire ready aim. I'm ready aim.
Maybe never fire.
Maybe fire. Maybe not.
Well, this is one of the reasons why Kristen is up late at night worrying about what she didn't get done. It's difficult to sleep, things like that. Yes, Kristen, right?
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes. Okay, cool.
She doesn't go to bed.
Been growing.
She doesn't go to
in
bed
this.
before that.
Yeah.
All right. So you all understand, like I only know them because I know their strengths. And they're starting to wonder if I've got a camera in their house. Like I know all about what's going on in them. And so what I want to do is I want to help you all get the value from what I'm talking about. So first off, let me just, for those of you who don't even know who I am, you just see me waving my hands around and talking. So my name is Eddie Villa. My wife, Angela, and I are Blue Diamond with doTERRA. We started back in June of 2011. And when I first got introduced to Strengths was in 2018. At that point, we had just hit Blue Diamond, brand new. And what happened in our business was we had pushed really hard to get there. And I'll be honest with you, we and our team was exhausted. It was a 6-month like grind and push to get there. And of course, we all celebrated and we really it was a great thing ultimately. But we haven't really pushed hard like that since. That was 2018. And this is why I love doing what I do, because that makes no sense, right? How do we figure out how to do the business in a way that energizes us so that the pushes aren't pushes? They're energized. They're just us being us. And it's been a fabulous journey for me to help not just our team, but also thousands of people in doTERRA in particular to do this. When I first got introduced to Strengths, probably like most of you, I thought this whole thing was a joke. Like, I'll be honest with you, I was a little tired of personality tests at that point, right? Because when you do network marketing, everything is about self-development. And I was just like, oh my gosh, here's another one. And, but when I came to the training, I learned that strengths is not about a personality test. It's more than that. It's how you are unique. And I don't just mean unique in your groups or in your communities. I mean unique compared to anybody that's ever been or ever will be. To sum this up as quickly as possible, the chances of anybody, so when you take the strengths assessment, you get strengths from 1 through 34. And that 34 combination is unique to you. I want you to imagine how many combinations that is. Just to give you an example, it's more, a lot more than 130 billion to 1. It's a massive amount of combination. Just to help you understand, since the beginning of time, there will have been 130 billion people born by the year 2050. Okay, let that sink in for a second. What that means is with your strengths report from 1 through 34, in that combination, which is the order matters, and I'll talk about it later, but that shows that you are different than anybody that's ever been or ever will be. You, each and every one of you that are listening to this, are infinitely unique and cannot be duplicated. But what is the thing we all hear in network marketing all the time? Be duplicatable. It can't happen. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't actually happen. So we can let go of thinking we have to do things the way other people do them, because we can't, because we're not them. We're us. And who we are is all we need to be, right? But what we do get to do is learn what are the successful principles that we can learn that work for everyone, no matter what their strengths are. And that's the best thing I've seen is 2 things. The first one was a book called GoPro, written by a guy named Eric Worre. And the second one is Pipes. In essence, they're both the same, right? What they're doing is they've taken the strengths, or sorry, they've taken network marketing and broken it down to its absolute basic fundamentals that you can then do on your own. And so when I learned all this, I became obsessed, and I needed to learn this because at that time, doTERRA and Gallup is the company that does the strengths. Neither of them knew that I had just spent the last 2 years of my life. I had just spent the last 2 years of my life trying to overcome 3 years of self-hate. I hated who I was. I had just been fired when we first started our business. And then right away, I got fired again in my next job. I was failing as a father, failing as a husband. I have 7 children, by the way, in case you're wondering. And I was failing in all of these things. I was failing as a son of God. I wasn't praying. I wasn't taking care of my body. I was a mess because I was desperately trying to just make some money to take care of our family. And I was failing at everything. And so when I got fired that second time, I became like, I went on a mission to try to prove I wasn't valuable anymore. And you know, what's funny is that when you try to prove something about yourself, you end up doing it. It's just a matter of focus. I became focused to prove I wasn't good enough. And that's when my brain woke up and said, wait a minute, if I can prove that I'm not good enough, then maybe I can prove that I am. And so I spent 2 years of my life trying to do that instead. Then strengths came into my life right when I needed it. And I was like, okay, I got to coach people. So I started coaching people for free for a year, thousands of people. And I was learning so much about strengths so fast. Learner is my number 6, that I was learning things about strengths that Gallup wasn't talking about. But this got so intense that I was like spending all my time coaching people. I stopped building our doTERRA business, and I stopped even coaching people and charging people for coaching. And there were even times where I was missing events and stuff with my family because I was on calls with people for free because I needed to understand this. I was learning so much about strengths that there were things that Gallup wasn't talking about. And I started teaching it because it was making a difference in people's lives. And I taught it so much that I decided to write a book. So this is the book here. Show it to you real quick. This is the book I wrote. It's called Unleash Your Strengths. I give it away for free. And it's a really small book, but this is everything about strengths that I know that Gallup isn't teaching. That makes a difference in people's lives faster, right? And part of my my training that I did at leadership was like 1/10 of this book. Okay, so when I started learning this, it was making a difference in people's lives. And I started communities, I started trainings, and I have not stopped since. March of 2018 was when I got introduced to the strengths. I haven't stopped since then, still going. I'm going to be doing this the rest of my life, because what I love about this is helping people do things that helps them love who they are and gain more than just confidence, right? I'm going to talk about confidence in a minute. I want you to understand that there's more than confidence that you deserve. I don't know about you all, but I'm not confident that I have a right hand, right? I am certain. I'm not confident I can help you. I'm not confident that you will love who you are when you do things with your strengths. I'm certain, because I've seen it and I lived it. Because what happened for me was I started loving who I was through that process. As I was helping other people, I was helping me. It was more than just making money in doTERRA, much more than that. I was starting to love me so much that I was overcoming some trauma that I didn't even realize I had, that I was making a difference, even generational trauma. Massive differences happening in my marriage, my family, seeing my kids differently, right? And so what does this mean? That if I understand my strengths and I understand that my wife has different ones, my kids have different ones, and so on. And this is how we translate this into the business. So when you're doing their business with your strengths, you grow confidence, you can do pipes your way, and then we can help other people do it their way. And then we can start seeing potential in other people, potential builders that we want to bring to our business. It all kind of goes in together through this understanding how to make this simple, how to understand strengths without having to read a whole bunch of books and watch a million videos, right? Okay, let's stop for a second and breathe. See, I can go, but I'm going to slow down now and ask you all, what are you getting from this so far? Before I start sharing some how-tos and fun stuff like that. What about this is attractive to you? What about this speaks to you? Feel free to unmute yourself or share in the comments, whichever is easier for you. I'd like to hear what you're hearing.
Hey, Eddie.
Hi.
You just really spoke a lot to me, because maybe, I don't even think Tyler and Kristen know this. I cried the first time I took the strength assessment, because the top 5 strengths are the things that I hate about myself.
Yeah.
And so it was really hard for me to accept that that's how God's created me, and to be proud of those things and how to channel those things for his kingdom and for the purpose and mission that he's given me. So thank you for saying that.
You're welcome. Andrea, have you opened up your full report, or you still just got the top 5?
Yeah, I've opened up my full report, and
Is context between 30 and 34?
let me look quick. I was just looking at them.
Take a look. This is important, y'all. I want you to understand how important this is.
Context is actually number 7 for me.
Really? Where's futuristic?
Futuristic is number 26.
Oh, that's the one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. All right.
So, but restorative empathy is my number 34, and I'm a nurse. So I was really having a lot of crisis about my path in life. And I really took a lot, really was doing the wrong thing. So
is command in your top 10?
Oh yeah. Command
That's
is my
it.
number 2.
Yeah.
And competition is my number 5.
Oh, I get it.
Achiever is number 4, and learner is number 1. So I feel like I describe myself as a freight train, and I've just read a lot of relationships because of these strengths.
Yeah.
So
Where's adaptability, like 28 or something?
it is number 27.
27. Isn't that weird? Like it just knew right where it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hard to turn when you're a freight train.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Andrea. Yeah. It's all love for you here. Okay. Everyone has a place. We need freight trains in our lives, my friends. We need freight trains. Just like we need people who can turn or bank, right? Or make quick adjustments. We need freight trains too. Freight trains get places fast and we can hop on, right? All right. Anybody else? I love this so much. I love this. I have to ask, Beatrice, do you have 3 or more executing strengths in your top 10?
No, I don't think so. I think I mainly have relational, like I know empathy, I think responsibility too,
Oh,
deliberative.
responsibility. That's it. Because I
Yeah.
see you putting stuff away while watching this. Because you got, that's it. That was what I was saying. Okay, I just wanted to ask.
I'm stuck.
It's all right. You do your multitasking. It's all good. You're loved here. Okay, one more person share feedback before I move into how to grow confidence. Stop being stuck.
I thank you, first of all, for doing this. Strengths is really interesting to me. I only know my top 5, but I think it's really easy to just compare ultimately, and think like, well, maybe if I was more relational, I would be better at this. Like, to use my strengths as like, actually, that's why I'm terrible at doTERRA, because I'm like,
Yeah.
don't have relationship in my top whatever. I don't know if they're definitely not in my top 5, but and so that's one comment. And then another is like, okay, so if I'm not strategic either, but I know people who are, or I know people who are relational, like outsourcing my liabilities has been something I've like kind of focused on, whereas like I don't have to be the best at all the things, but
Yeah.
learning to leverage people who are really good at those things, or not leverage them, like I'm not using them, but just leaning on them.
Yeah. Well, it's not leverage when they like doing it.
Right.
That's
Tyler.
it. They like doing it.
He's always with the strategy.
Yeah, like my assistant loves doing things that I just can't stand. And so from my perspective, it feels kind of mean that I'm making her do all the boring stuff, but she likes it. She enjoys it. She's like, this is the stuff, Eddie, just bring this stuff to me and knock it out. I boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, oh, that's so weird, because I would never do that, right? That's the whole point. Anyway, I just, I'm glad you brought that up, Haley. Am I pronouncing that right, by the way? Yeah, okay. Okay, so let's talk about confidence. First off, I want to share with you all some slides that I just did a little bit before this call, so I can have it, you can have this recorded and you'll get the screenshots, which would be really easy and efficient. So I'm going to share with you how to build confidence. But don't worry, if you don't follow it right away, it's recorded and you can come back and watch this over and over again. But before I do that, I want to share with you one really important thing, and I have to get serious just for a sec, I promise. I'll go back to fun, Eddie, in just a minute, but I got to get serious. Please, with everything you got, stop doing this by yourself. There is nothing impressive about doing this business by yourself. We can check pride at the door, right? What is this about? This is about doing things your way with other people, right? Tyler's got all the science for you. If you got a lot of low strategic thinking strengths, don't worry, Tyler's got the info for you. And he'll take the complicated information and make it real easy to understand. So you don't ever have to study that stuff. You can just bring people to Tyler's trainings and calls. Boom, you got some information and science. If that's not your thing, Tyler's got it. Does that make sense? And that means that no matter what you have low, someone here in this group of 27 people's got it high. There are people here that love to organize. There are people that love to put oils in bottle samples. There are people that love to put together slides and trainings. There are people that love to talk, right? Some of you, especially have communication high. You can wave your hands around when you talk because you love drama. It's all there. So please, you don't have to do this business by yourself. Let go of that. And I won't sing, I promise. but listen to that song if you need to. All right, here we go. So let me share with you real quick how to gain confidence. So first off, understand that your strengths report shows what you care about. And this is important to understand because when people are feeling stuck, especially right now in network marketing, right now it's happening after in this post 2020 world right now we are all in, so many of us are feeling a disconnect with what inspired us to do this business from the get-go. And the thing that I've noticed from the thousands of people I work with is that this intense focus on specifically what we do has been a disconnect from why we do it. Okay, I'm going to say that 4 times so you understand what I just said. A constant focus on what we do has been a disconnect from why we do it. A constant focus on what we do has created a disconnect from why we do it. Why we do it is what fuels us. When we do it in our strengths, it reminds us of why. Let me say that again. Why we do this fuels us. And when we do it in our strengths, it's a reminder of our why. So for example, if you're a relationship builder, do everything in a way that honors your desire to connect. That means stop looking at your back office and start connecting with people. That's it, done. Everything else will fall into place, right? Talk to the people as much as you can, connect with them with no agenda. That's it. This is what I would tell Kristen, no agenda, just talk to the people, right? If you got 3 or more relationship building strengths, talk to the people, that's it, no agenda. Find out what they need, help them get it your way, right? If you're an influencer, if you've got 3 or more of the influencing strengths, find out where people are and where they want to go and help them get there. Ask everyone where they are. Ask everyone where they want to go and help them get there. You all did it. Look at the comments, right? Look at the comments. I have 5 influencing strengths. I do this every time I train. I know my job is to find out where you are and where you want to go. Right? So Beatrice says, I want to quit my 9 to 5 and live off doTERRA. Boom. That's where she wants to be. Where is she? She's right now, she's struggling with showing up consistently, which to me means authentically. I have all the strengths unlocked and had a session with someone on my team. Oh, cool. Awesome, Beatrice. That's great. So how do I get Beatrice from where she currently is to where she wants to be her way, right? That's the influencer style. The executors are about processes and systems, right? Tools. What are the tools? What are the processes I can give to a person? How many lists can I make? Right? So if you've got 3 or more executing strengths, it's making lists of what people need and helping them get those things. And it's okay to tell people what to do, even though most of them won't do it. Don't worry, I'll give you some tips on that later. So strategic thinkers, it's about sharing information based on what people want. Okay, so those are the 4 simple things, and we can talk about how they work with pipes. Let me share with you real quick. Let's see, before I bring it up, I want to make sure I got the right one. What I call the confidence formula, okay? Bear with me a second. This is what I used to go from hating who I was to ultimately creating a massive following and helping lots of people. And I'm just addicted. I can't stop doing it. Where is it? Okay, here it is. Okay, you'll like this. All right. Okay. So this is how I do it. So I take my infinitely unique strengths, right? My combination of strengths, and then I put them into action. Okay, that means that how your strengths work, when you think about your strengths, if you were using them, what would you see yourself doing? And so then those are action items that you do. And when you do them enough, you get these small, authentic wins, right? Little ones. And if you stay on this path of consistently applying your strengths into action, you get these small wins. Eventually, these small wins become lots of small wins. And you just keep doing it, and you just keep doing it, and you just keep doing it, and you just keep doing it with a single desire to prove that I'm valuable. And then you gain certainty, right? And it's certainty, and there's a typo here, but I'll point it out. Certainty that all you are is all you ever have to be. You're already enough. You don't need to be something you're not in order to get what you want. You just be who you are at a higher level. Commit to it. And this is for me, like I've been doing this for now, since 2015 was when I started. We're coming up on my 7th year of just trying to prove that I'm valuable every single day by helping other people. So I know I'm enough. I just did an event and convention, before a convention. We had 250 people there, and they weren't there because they were going to watch a whole bunch of speakers gather together. They were there because I was being me, helping them be them. And to know that you're enough and have unshakable proof, my friends, is the greatest gift I could give to anybody. Unshakable proof that you're enough. Right? Okay. So let me stop sharing. Oh, there we go. All right. So that's the formula right there. It's doing things committed every day to create the results. Now, pipes is really simple if you look at it, right? Now, when it comes to preparing, it's simply going, okay, well, like for me, preparing is what are my strengths? What am I good at? And how can I bring value to a person? I can bring value through connection. I can bring value through motivation. I can bring value through processes. I can bring value through knowledge. So I prepare. I put time and effort and even money into my strengths. Okay? Invite. Inviting is not selling. Inviting is offering value. Be absolutely relentlessly committed to helping other people get things for themselves. So an invitation is an invitation to accept value. So invitations can be done many ways. If you're a relationship builder, right? It can be through samples, but do them with them. Say, I'm going to send you some samples. As soon as you get it, let's jump on a call and we'll do this together. Right? How do you do an invite as an influencer? You don't need samples. You just need a good story. An invitation can be a good story. Tell people where you once were. Tell people how you got introduced to this, why you tried it, even though you didn't know it was going to work. What has your life been like since? And then invite them to take that same journey. You can bring them on a call. You can bring them on a training. If you want, you can send them samples. Great, but you don't have to. You do this your way, right? So an invitation is an invitation for more value. As an executor, totally send samples, right? Make a list of everything they want to work on. Make a list of what oils you want to send them. Send it to them. Tell them when it's coming. Tell them how it's going to be there. And you're going to send them a list of the step-by-steps when they get it. Right? Or once again, invite them to every single thing you're going to do so they hear more stories. And as a strategic thinker, you're inviting them to gather your knowledge. So you, as a strategic thinker, you ask questions because this is what you do anyway. You know that people are far more interesting than any book you could ever read, right? So you ask good questions like, hey, what are you struggling with? How is it affecting you? What would life be like if that wasn't a problem anymore? What are you doing that's not working? And would you be interested in some information? Right? Asking wonderful questions like that helps people just go from being interested to suddenly being hungry for more, right? And as a strategic thinker, you got lots of information. So these are just some ideas, okay? They're not the only ones. There's millions of them. But just to understand what invitation is basically an invitation to experience more value. Presentations are simply connecting people's problems to your solutions. That's it. Connecting people's problems to your solution. As a relationship builder, asking people how they feel, asking people how they want to feel, and asking them to do it with you. We'll talk about that in a minute, right? To learn about this with you. As an influencer, right? How do I get you from the problems you are now to where you want to be with this solution as a new option? As a strategic thinker, how much information can I get you to get you from where you are, from this problem to this solution, this opportunity, right? And as an executor, once again, lists. And then the enrolling, we do that authentically as well. What are we doing as an enrolling? We're asking them to take a step. As a relationship builder, say, let's do this together. Here's an option. Here's another option. Pick one. Let's do this together. As an executor, here's a list of of the problems you got going on. Here's two options here, and here's the list of what's in them. Pick one, and I'll give you the step-by-steps. Or Kristen's a relationship builder executor, right? I'll give you the step-by-steps, and we'll do this together. Right? That's more authentically you. Okay. And then the influencers. Here's where you are. Here's where you want to be. Pick an option, and we'll get there. As a strategic thinker, here's where you are. Here's where you want to be. Here's some information. Pick one, and you'll get everything I know. Okay, so pipes is like, okay, how can I do this my way? When you're looking at your strengths, what we're doing is doing this in a way that energizes you so that you speak authentically and not get weird by trying to repeat someone else's closing style. Ugh. Right. This is why people don't enroll, by the way, because we are totally who we are when we're presenting and when we're inviting and when we're preparing. We're totally ourselves. But then when it comes to asking for money, we get weird. And they feel it. Right? But if we do this our way, we don't get weird. They're just like, oh, you're being you. I know how to help. Right? So when we understand this concept, then we understand that the way that we want to do things is it. That's it. That's all we want to do is just do it our way, right? My hope is that you are here right now thinking, oh my gosh, that's all I want to do. I just want to do it my way. Well, guess what? So does everybody else in your business. The commitment you feel to want to do it your way, they have that commitment too, which means that you don't get to tell them how to do it anymore. All you want to do is help them do it their way. When you help people be who they are, then you can push them because they're just being who they are. Great connectors, great information deliverers, great executors, great inspiring speakers, whatever. Does that make sense? Right? It's like for me, if I was working with Tyler, the last thing I would do is tell Tyler to do something that I know is not going to energize him. I'll find out what energizes him, and I'm going to push him to do that hard, bigger, more. And he's going to grow faster, right? And the people around him will see the value of who he is, just like the rest of you. Okay, that's how this whole process works. All right, I usually get questions here, so I'm going to stop before I move on to the last part. Questions, because there's going to be some. That's okay. Stay in our top strengths here. Don't let the energy dip. Stay in your top strengths. You're enough. That was a lot. Thank goodness this is all being recorded and you can all watch it again. Don't worry.
It is, and we'll post it on our leader group. Eddie, one question that I had go through
Yes.
my mind is everyone on here is at different points in their strengths knowledge. Could you just briefly say, like, so there's the 4 categories of strengths. I know
Yeah,
categories
here,
is the right word.
I'll pull up another slide that's got a really cool visual so you can go through this quicker. So bear with me just a moment while I do that for you.
Yeah, thanks. So while Eddie's pulling that up, this was huge for Kristen and I, for me to just see, and Eddie, I was just looking, you probably already knew this, but there's only 8 strategic thinking strengths. So I have 7 of the 8 in my top 10, not 8 of the 9, but
Okay.
Just from a standpoint of the 4 categories, knowing like how our brains work, and then you can go deeper into the different individual strengths. but that was a big, just that alone was big for us.
All right, so I got this, and this, by the way, this is all available in my book, and that you can all get for free. It's at unleashyourstrengths.net. So bear with me a second while I pull this up. Okay, so here it is. So this is what I call a strengths proclamation. The proclamation meaning that I can proclaim it to the world that this is who I am, and this is the high level of value I'm going to deliver, and that's it. Right? I deliver this at a high level, and that's what you get from me. But then you're also going to proactively claim it for yourself. You're going to do the work to own it. So basically how this works is I love to do everything in a way that honors my desire to, and then you take in your top 10, the strengths you have 3 or more of, and you add these little short statements that go with it. So for example, I love to do everything in a way that honors my desire to. I have 5 influencing and 3 strategic thinking, which means that I love to do everything in a way that honors my desire to move people forward and think, create, and or learn, right? You don't need all of them. You don't need just one. You just, whatever you got, that's all you need, right? Whatever you have, that's all you need. Some of us need 1, some of us need 2, some of us need 3. Nobody needs 4. The math doesn't add up. So 3, anything you have 3 or more of. And you can do it in order if you like, or you can change the order. It's up to you. It's how you feel. Now, the last thing I'll say here is that part where it says do everything, where it's underlined, you can put anything in there. And I can't remember who made the comment, the name of the person, but somebody said, I want to quit my 9 to 5. Right? So that, I forget her name. Sorry, my dear, but you can put in here, I get to, instead of I love to, right? You can change it to, I get to quit my 9 to 5 in a way that honors my desire to, and then your DNA statement, your strength statement, sorry, proclamation statement. Does that make sense? Like when you add these personal things to the do everything, you'll feel it in your body shift, an energy shift going, oh my gosh, that's true. That's exactly what I want to do. I want to just do it that way. Okay, that is what you were asking, right, Tyler? Before I just want to make sure.
Yes, this is amazing. And so when I just did that in my own head to myself, think, create, and or learn, like nailed it. I will do that all day, every day, and love it.
Yeah. And you can think of anything, like, Tyler, you're a dad, right?
Yeah, we have 2
Okay.
boys.
Right. I get to parent my boys in a way that honors my desire. How about this? I get to teach my boys how to be men and one day be fathers in a way. So where it
Yeah.
gets emotional, right?
Yeah.
I love to, I need to, I have to, I want to, whatever it is that actually energizes you. Me, the 2 I love, the ones that most best for me is I love to, or I get to. That's it. I don't say should anymore. That's just me, but there are some people who like to say should. Some of you have like belief and responsibility high, and you say the word should a lot, and it's okay. I don't, so I don't. Right, Kristen? And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with saying should if you got those strengths, because that energizes you, especially if you have harmony, right? Another should. But for me, I love to do everything or whatever it is I want to do. I love to be on this amazing call with you all in a way that honors my desire too, right? I say it all the time, everywhere, with everything. I wear 1 hat with everything, no more multiple hats. All right, is that cool? Is that helpful, everybody? Yeah, okay. I love this so much. Okay, so so now that we understand, okay, there's a simple formula for growing confidence. It's through action and creating results and actually giving ourselves credit for the work we do. Okay, most of us are experts at telling ourselves we did it wrong. Let's shift that. Let's become experts in the things we do well. Strengths is not about what you can't do. Okay, pipes is doing pipes your way, understanding the basic principles of what pipes are. Preparing, inviting, presenting, enrolling, and supporting. And then knowing that we have this massive commitment to do it our way, so does the next person. So focusing on their strengths rather than what they should or shouldn't be doing is going to help you lead others, create trust, and so on. Does that make sense? right? If we start with strengths and then we move to what, we're starting with why. This is also a great book for you all to remember. When it comes to finding builders, you'll understand that no matter what a person's strengths are, they will work. They will work. All they need is a desire to do this business. If they want to do this, even if it's just to make a few extra bucks or to pay for their product or to free their family from financial whatever, no matter what their desire is, it's not about who are the right people with the right strengths. It's just who wants to do this and how can we talk about what's great about them and why they want to do this. The greatest way to do this network marketing business is when people say, I'm interested in what you're doing. Instead of answering that question, ask one right back and say, why? And then don't stop asking why until they are just like, I need to do this right now. Right? Be like a child. You know, I had a child, like I love my children. They do this to me all the time. Hey, Dad, why is it that this is like this? Well, because of this. And then here comes another why question. Right? And at some point, I'm just like, okay, you've asked me why so many times. It's time for me to just tell you the truth because I need this. All right, now we're ready. Right? All right, I hope you all know I love this so much. I could be here. I could take your whole night up, but I want to make sure that I'm keeping this within reason here and time. And I hope you all are having a good time and got a lot of value from this.
Eddie, would you touch on like one other question? I've actually heard this like secondhand from somebody that's been through your training. And the question is, what do you do when you're like feeling stuck in life or in your business, specifically related to your strengths? Or like, is there like a key to getting unstuck?
Yeah. So if there's anybody here that's feeling stuck, you don't have to admit it, but there are going to be quite a few here. What I want you to do is look at your strengths domain for just a second, right? Look at the connect with the right people, move people forward, and think, create, and learn, and so on. If you're feeling stuck, I'm willing to bet, I can put money down right now, it's because you're not honoring that desire. The reason we get stuck is because we worry that either who we are is not the right person for the thing that we feel called to do. I want you to hear that sentence again. We somehow in our heads think that we are not the right person for the thing that we feel called to do. That makes no sense. Why would we feel called to do it if we're not the right person? I'm sorry, my friends, but God doesn't work that way. He doesn't put the desire in you and take the talent out. It's not how it works. Right? The desire comes with the talent, the strengths. So why are we stuck? It's because we're not honoring that. We think we need to be something we're not in order to get what we desire. That's the first thing. And the second thing is we think that we have to sacrifice our desire in order to get what we want. For example, relationship builders are being told that they need to be great goal setters. You do not. You just have to be great connectors. And instead of setting goals, which to you are promises, stop that. Instead, just set targets and realize that your desire to connect is like 1,000 arrows. And when you're done shooting them, another 1,000 show up. Like Legolas from Lord of the Rings, he just never runs out of arrows, you know? That's what connectors do. You just never run out of ability to connect. You keep connecting until you hit the target, and then you move the target again. Always connecting, right? These are two examples of why people are feeling stuck. They're not honoring the way they want to do things, and they're worried that who they are is not the right person. So let me give you one rule that I live by. And then I'll feel like I answer this question well. If you ever have a thought that instantly shuts you down, it's a lie. You are infinitely unique, which means that you have something valuable that nobody could ever or will ever be able to bring to the world. Any thought that you have that keeps that from the world has to be a lie, because you were designed to be different. We're stuck because we're listening to the wrong story. Let's change it. Let's honor what we were designed to do. Every time you tell a story that immediately excites you and makes you want to do something, it's true, and you act on it as fast as you can. The minute that story comes in to tell you that you're wrong or it's not going to work, lie, move on, keep going. Does that help, Kristen?
Yes.
Eddie, I just
So good.
listed a few, just off the top of my head, a few lies that I hear from time to time. I'm not good at this. I don't know the right people. I can't find builders. Nobody wants what I have to offer. Lie, 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 lie.
They're lies if they shut you down. Some people, like, I'll be honest, some people will say those and they get all fired up and they want to go.
The competitive people.
Yeah, sure. If it fires you up and it makes you want to go, then it's true. Go. Boom. That's why people always say, Eddie, if I did this, would this help me? My first question is, does it energize you? And they say yes, then yes, it will help you. If it doesn't, no, it won't.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Like stories like, by the way, if y'all want a really good lesson on stories, read a book called Loving What Is. Amazing. Oh, Tyler, you're a strategic thinker. You got to read this.
Yeah.
Okay. Loving What Is by Byron Katie. In fact, I'm going to challenge you to read that one, brother. You want to help people with these stories, with your knowledge abilities, read that book.
He'll love every second of it.
Yeah. And it's a heavy one. So I'm going to tell you, Tyler, I'm here. So feel free to message me after you get through chapter 3.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
Responsibility is low in his 34, though.
Well, I'm tapping into his inquisitive nature, his ability to accept information and want to use
learner's
it.
number 5. So
Yeah. Oh, you're going to love this. It'll help you help people deal with these stories in a simple breakdown. All right. Y'all having fun? See, we're weird. We're weird people that jump on Zoom calls and listen to stuff like this. Embrace it, my friends. You're the coolest people on the planet in my book. You're the only kind of people I ever want to hang out with. People that jump on Zoom calls at 8 o'clock at night in Mountain Standard Time. I love it.
Eddie,
is it-
how do you communicate with other people that have strengths completely different than your own when you're trying to either work with them or even like just enroll them onto your team?
Well, the only way I know how is with my strengths. But there is important to know that the only people you can communicate to are people that want to communicate, because communication is a two-way street, right? So how do I talk to someone? Well, the first thing I would say is, how do you listen to someone? Everyone's different. Ask people questions. Find out where they are and what they want. Communication becomes easy once you know. Right? I ask everybody when somebody says, hey, Eddie, I have a question. One of the, typically, I didn't do it now, but typically I'll say, why do you ask? That's a great question. Why do you ask? And then there you go. Just so you all know, the person asking the questions is the one in control. So how do you communicate? By listening and asking good questions. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Another book I just told you all. Oof, it's a good one. Okay.
Hi, Eddie. Can I ask a quick question?
Yes, Hattie.
So I just did it today. My top one is restorative. What do you think I should like focus on quick? I know this probably doesn't apply to everyone, but
No, that's okay. People are going to learn something right now. But what bothers you about restorative?
I feel like that one doesn't really resonate with me as the rest of my top 5.
When you're reading the description, what doesn't resonate?
Like making things better.
Oh,
Like I don't feel like I want to make things better, like the processes, or make things easier for people. I don't know if I do that.
where is restorative for you in your strengths?
The first one.
Number 1?
Yeah.
What's number 5?
Empathy.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to make things better. You want to make people's feelings better.
Yeah.
You want to fix the way people feel.
Yeah, that's true.
This is why we don't just study the strength. We study all of them. We look at all of them, right? Our entire top 10. Hattie, your number 5 dictates that you're about people, not things.
Mhm.
Right? So restore is seeing where a person is. It's broken in some ways, but you can see what they could be when it's repaired. Right? And so you want to ask questions like, how does it feel? How long have you felt this way? What is going on that's causing this feeling? How can we change that so that we can restore you back to the glory that you are? Is that you?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
You bet. Restorative is amazing for you, as
Mhm.
long as you understand what it's designed to do for you, right?
Mhm.
Is to help people with their broken feelings.
Mhm. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Is it weird to you all? I don't know anybody on this call, but once you start telling me your strengths, I know everything about you. I just want to teach people how to do this so badly. Right, we've got thousands of people in our community, but it's never enough. It'll never be enough. I just want to change the world this way. I'll tell you this. I have a meeting with Emily Wright next week. Actually, it's this week. I lied. It's day after tomorrow. I have a call with her. And I'm going to tell her that the reason what I want to do with doTERRA is I want to help doTERRA help the world love what's different about us. Help us all see the value in our differences. That's how we're going to heal the world, my friends. Is stop thinking we need to be the same and start appreciating the fact that we are different and we all have something unique to bring to the table. And that'll help us to stop demanding and pushing of other people, instead accepting and loving. So that's my little agenda with Emily when I talk to her this week.
Eddie, do you ever see people's strengths change as they get older? Like, I know spiritual gifts sometimes change over the course of your life. Do you ever see that with your strengths?
Yeah, yeah, because if you take the assessment again, you're going to get slightly different to sometimes dramatic differences, usually slightly. Yeah, I've seen it. I'll tell you my own personal journey. I'll never take it again. The ones I have right now, I've fallen in love with them. I would never want different ones. That would be like scary to me. I love them, and I can grow with those. I don't need to grow with any other ones. Does that make sense? Because strengths doesn't show growth. It just shows a shift in focus. But I've been focusing on mine for so long. I don't want to focus on anything else. It works. It makes me happy, and it helps me do everything. So when people ask me if they should take it again, I'll usually say, take it until you're ready to just own it and then commit to that. So you can take it as many times as you want. To add on a little more to that question.
Any other questions for Eddie? I don't know about y'all, but I've gotten a ton out of this. What questions? Do you have time for one or two more, Eddie?
I do. I love this.
Okay.
And I just want everybody to understand what I'm doing here is just letting you know I love how different you all are. And I just want you to be you. And my hope is that you'll become so confident in doing that. That's all you'll ever be. And then the people around you go, I love it. Don't stop. And yeah, I'm happy to take any other questions. I usually on these things, there's usually one or two people that have a question that they just keep not asking because they're worried about something or telling some story. Give me a hard one. Give me a really good one. Tell the truth.
We're all family here.
Yeah.
I think Amber's comment in the chat, it's not a question, but it kind of feels like one. Can I read it to you?
Yeah, well, I'm seeing it here. So I
Okay.
found it hard to answer the questions. Yeah, I've honestly found it hard to answer the questions. I think I have a hard time digging into me. The part of your brain that articulates, things, explains things, is not the part of your brain where your emotions are located. They don't, I mean, it's like trying to ask someone their why. You'll feel it. Like, I can't. It's like doing where you rub the belly and pat the head. It's kind of like that. You know what I mean? So speaking up about something that you feel is hard. That's what's cool about Gallup, is they give you words to describe how you feel, and then you use that domain to kind of alter the words a bit. Amber, so I know it's hard, and it's supposed to be hard.
I'm just gonna say it. Amber's lived more life than any of us all combined. Just super, super challenging childhood, stuff that people shouldn't have ever had to live through. So she's spent most of her life listening to people that have no business talk to her the way that she has. And so she just needs a rebirth on who she really is. And I think Strengths would be a chance for her to really hear that from an outside perspective.
Oof.
Okay, there it is.
What are your strengths?
Belief.
Yeah, belief, right?
Activator. Anyway,
Yeah,
my
I can
question is about, I'm curious if you are into the Enneagram at all, and if you think that plays a role, or like, is there a way to like work those two together?
Yeah, absolutely. I love Enneagram because it's more words.
Yeah.
It's more descriptive words. I love them. I can never get enough words to describe how I feel, because it's hard. So just, with the Enneagram, it just adds more, just remembering that everything goes back to the domain, right? To connect or move people forward and so on. So what Enneagram does is it gives you more words to understand what that really means to you. So I like it. And Strengths works with everything, because everything works with Strengths, because Strengths is the thing, in my opinion. Right? So Enneagram works, what is it? Love languages, energy types, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, those kind of things, they all play into Strengths.
I feel like when I took Enneagram, I was like, I'm an 8. No shock to anybody here, but I just like wanted to keep taking it over and over until I wasn't an 8. And it's like off the freaking charts. Like the second one isn't even, I don't even think it comes up, but I feel like Strengths really gave me the positive, like the reason that I can be so powerful as an 8 is because of my belief, my activator, my responsibility, my strategy, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. All the rules that you live your life by that everybody seems to not understand, and they constantly break them and they don't even know.
Because there is a set of rules. Thanks for
Yeah,
saying.
of course. You've got rules for every rule. You've got a rule for every cell in your body.
Obviously.
Right?
Are
And
you listening, husband?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, and your biggest problem is that people won't listen to your rules, or they won't follow them. They don't understand. It's because they don't know what you have gone through to earn your commitment to the rule. They don't know that you have paid the price.
They would be doTERRA diamonds.
You've paid the price.
I'm
with
being
blood.
really 8 now, but what?
That's why they're doing the dishes right now.
He just wants everyone to notice that his strengths are service and empathy and caring and adaptability and and that's why he's doing the dishes right now.
He's following the
Whatever,
rules.
it's
Good
fine.
man.
Yes. Hey, thanks for tonight. It was awesome. What do you think is the next step for people if they're like digging this? Like, get your book, obviously, but what else is there?
So get the book and start discussing it with people. Start talking about it. I have tons of trainings and programs for people to get involved in. So you get involved as much as you want. But when you get the book and you have a discussion with another human being, so you look at their report and go, oh, look, you got 3 of these and 4 of these and whatever. According to this book, it says that this is what you care about. Is that true?
Yeah.
And then listen to them talk. And it'll become crystal clear to you of what they can do, and they won't have a clue. And that's the point. Because when they then do that same thing for you, they'll have a crystal clear idea for you, and you won't have a clue.
Right.
Because see, the wonderful thing is that I don't have your drama about your belief strength. I only see the value.
That's
which
good.
means Right. It's because I can see amazing things that you can do with that strength that you can't, because you've got drama with that strength. That's what we do. We help each other out to not see the drama, just the good. That's what I suggest, Melissa.
I want to know Amber's top 5 now that I just called her out on the floor. Can we get those for a second, Amber?
Ooh, like Emily's like date nights. Yes, Emily, that would be it's a powerful date night. My wife and I needed it, strengths big time, because we were so different. It was really a lot of this, a lot of struggling. Amber, I don't know if that. Amber, I've seen you before.
I don't know where. I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know. I know adaptability is one. I can't think of the other ones. I'd have to look up my screenshot of my test.
Okay. Can you look it up now, or do you need to go? It's okay. I'm just curious.
No, I can find it.
If anybody doesn't mind, because there's now a lot of story about Amber, and all of a sudden I'm wondering if maybe people are wanting to hear. I don't know. Now we're just rolling with the thing now. See, for me, I'm like the freight train. I'm still going.
So Eddie, while Amber's looking, where is the best place to get your book? Unleashyourstrengths.net. Is that the best place?
Unleashyourstrengths.net. Yeah, I've sold almost 800 copies of that book so far. And I say sold because you have to pay $9 to get it shipped to you. So I'm calling that a sell. It's 800 copies so far. Anyway, so that's the best place to get it. And then when you go on there, there's other things you can get if you like. If not, the book's gonna be great. And then just work it together in your conversations with your team. Gallup.com. Beatrice, yes, we do ship to Canada. To Canada.
Thank you so much, Eddie.
You're welcome. I'm looking at the comments. Just wanted to see if there are any other comments here. Danielle says, literally making my husband do this tomorrow. Yes, to help us see the value in our differences, especially in our marriage. It's powerful. I have I do a marriage workshop. I did about 4 or 5 this year. I usually do them about every couple months. And the marriage workshops are fun. They're really a lot of fun to help couples see the value in their differences. That it's important that they're different. They don't have to be the same, which is very cool.
Sorry, I'm still trying to track it down. You can just, oh, I hear it's in my book.
You what?
Okay. My top 5 are communication, empathy, developer, harmony, and adaptability.
Okay, hold on. Do you just have the top 5?
Yep.
Okay, one more time. Communication.
Empathy, developer, harmony, and adaptability.
Okay, so obviously a relationship builder. Okay. So what I want to share with you all, a thing that you can learn in my book, but I'm gonna do it real quick with Amber. But this is just the top 5, right? I mean, we're gonna need you're gonna need to get your whole report eventually, okay? But just from the top 5, we know you're a relationship builder. With empathy, developer, harmony, adaptability, that's 4 of your top 5 are relationship building, which means your everything you do starts through the connection of other people. That means that you produce better when you're connecting. Does that make sense, Amber?
Yep.
You produce better when you're connecting. When you're doing things with people that you connect with, you produce more. You are more creative when you're connected. You don't have to have strategies. You can connect with people and the strategies show up. Does that make sense, Amber?
Yep.
You don't have to be inspirational or pushy or demanding. You move people forward when you connect with them. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And you don't have to have all the knowledge and know all the things. You know all the things when you connect with them. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So what should you be doing?
Connecting with people.
Only always. Only all of the time. Every of
Yeah.
the times.
What if you lived
Yep.
in a town of like 12 people?
So connect with
True
all
story.
12. Connect with all 12. You only need 6 to go to presidential.
Yeah, true.
Just saying. Okay, anyway, so how does Amber connect best? By speaking passionately with her heart, feeling the feelings of those who she's speaking with, focusing on what's great about them and cheering them on, knowing that this is how relationships and connections should flow, and living in the moment. You don't have to have a vision of the future, right? Or just be practical. You can be emotional and spiritual. Okay, does that help?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for being you. This group seems to like it.
Amber's amazing. And I hope I didn't step over any bounds sharing any of that with everyone, but she is a crazy go-getter. Like she really does live in a town of like 12 people, and her volume like has doubled in the last few months. Like she's killing it, and she's crazy motivated about people getting well. And that's exactly what you're just saying. If she can continue to tap into that. So anyway, I'm backtracking because I'm feeling like I exposed her.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's all
you helped everyone see her value. Amber's going to be the last one to tell everybody how good she is at something. That creates disconnect. She wants you all to see what's wonderful about you. Right, Amber? Okay, so that's what you do. And when you do that, things like this happen. People sing your praises. And then all you got to do at this point, Amber, is say, thank you, Melissa. I deserve that. It's going to feel weird, Amber. Just try it. Because you know you've earned it with Melissa. Thank you, Melissa.
She does it all the time. She does it all the time. She's a good girl.
Yeah. It's hard to say I deserve that, but you do. You've earned it. All right, my friends, let's end on that. Is that cool? That was really sweet. Thank you, Tyler and Kristen, for letting me do this.
Thank you all
Thank
for
you,
being
Eddie.
here. And yes, thank you, Eddie, for doing what you do, being who you are, and
Yeah.
sharing it with us and with thousands and soon to be tens of thousands. We will text Emily and say, listen to Eddie, do everything he says. But seriously, that would be such a service to doTERRA and to the world, for you to just keep living in your strengths and freeing people to be who they is.
All right. Have a wonderful night, y'all.
Love y'all.